Hey, what is going on, Madden family? We are here today, and we are going to be discussing what is probably, in my opinion, a bit of a hot button topic within the community, and it is limited edition cards. And so we obviously all know that a limited edition card has a quick sell value of 500,000 coins, which means that that's the minimum price you can technically get it for, but most people are pretty smart to that now. So these cards aren't dipping really below 600. And there's really two sides to it. A lot of people know, and this is the honest truth, and I believe this as well. A lot of these cards are not worth the actual price you pay for them. However, you can't think of it that way. You can't think that this is not a 600,000 coin card. This is not a 700,000 coin card. And I agree. Is Derek Carr worth 600,000 coins? No, he is not. But because we know there's a 500K quick sell, what we know from these cards is that there's a guaranteed maximum loss attached to these cards, which is not something you would ever get in any investment area ever. That doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Now, I will say every single limited edition card on my team has gone up in price since I've had it. So that's one thing. That's true. Morton Anderson. He's ridiculously expensive. You could have picked him up for 550,000 coins, like really, really easily. All these cards, even the legend cards, have a high desirability. I bought Bryant Young for 550K. I bought Kevin Mawai for 560K. Howie Long was never 900K this weekend. So the fact these cards, they go up in price. Why do they go up in price? I mean, they're good cards, and people hold on to them, and a lot of people scoop them up as a semi-savings account. And it's just what it is, right? Now, one thing you need to keep in mind with how this really works, you can't look at the price tag and say this is a 600,000 coin card for someone like Derek Carr, right? I hate to use him as an example, but we're going to. Anytime you get a card like this, you know what your loss would be. You're putting down a 500,000 coin deposit as part of your purchase in every single one of these cards, which means that the max you're willing to lose is obviously the price of the card minus 500K. So in this case, 105,000 coins for this particular Derek Carr on the block. A lot of people will tell you that when they would like to try these cards out. And I agree that if you're not mutt rich, you can't really try these cards out. And that, I think, is the unfortunate part, 100%. To me, that's the biggest downside. Is a lot of times you before you buy a card, you want to try it out maybe and see how it is, or just give it a ride. You know, like you've had Steve Young, you've had Michael Vick, you've had Cam Newton. You're not impressed with any of them, and then this Derek Carr drops, and you're like, maybe Carr's the move for me, and it's hard to actually do that if you don't have the coins. The way I am attacking MUT this year, honestly, is focusing on limited edition cards for building my team. It is the best way if you have the coins to do so. Because what it allows me to do is, for yesterday, good example, Everson Griffin came out, right? I told you guys I would be willing to pay about 580 for him. I paid literally 600,000 coins flat for him. And I had Aaron Donald. I sold Aaron Donald, right? Aaron Donald was up 320,000 coins. So I sold him, and I got Everson Griffin. The reason why I did that is that in the long run, I'm going to make coins off of this maneuver. Because I can either quick sell Everson Griffin at some point for 500,000 coins, right? So then I'm taking that 100,000 coin loss, essentially. I subtract it from Aaron Donald. That's 220,000 coins. If I can buy Aaron Donald back at that point for 220,000 coins or less, or I can upgrade this spot for 220,000 coins or less, it is a good move. Similar with Richard Sherman. I've got him. Bam. Right? Great. He's really good. I didn't power him up. I'm not powering up these limited edition cards either. It's training. I like training too much to just blow it on them. But I think that if you can get to the point where if you can stack your coins in this game, it's going to give you all the freedom in the world, because you can add 1 or 2 of these cards a week, and hopefully you're replacing them with someone that you can actually sell and then offset that temporary cost. You're renting these cards. I don't remember exactly what I got Bryant Young for. I want to say it was $560. Maybe it was a little more. Maybe it was a little less. At the time, I had base elite Gerald McCoy. I sold Gerald McCoy for 80,000 coins. I picked up Bryant Young for, we'll call it $560, which means that Bryant Young's cost after selling my current player was 480,000 coins, which means that I am renting this card. And I think of these cards much more as rentals instead of keepers. I'm renting the card, and I can use it as long as I want. And when I do decide to get rid of it, I have now made more coins than I had at the time. It's crazy. So you can't approach these cards as thinking, I am buying this card. You need to approach this with a renter's mentality, 100%. A savings account. Like we look, I've got Morton Anderson, 1. Ed Reed, 2. Richard Sherman, 3. Everson Griffin is 4. Bryant Young is 5. Mr. Mayway is 6. We have 6 cards right now that I know if we got rid of would net me 3 million coins. That's a good savings account. Now, maybe what I would like to have seen, but I know that since we don't have contracts this year, that makes it really hard, is a rental version of, like a true rental test tryout version of these cards. Something that's maybe 5, call it 5 games, right? You can use this card for 5 games just to see how it works, because you want to use it in online. You don't want to play with it in a solo or something where like like having the Gatorade solos, you get forced on cards. I would like that because the price is really high, and over time these cards will disappear. Now, of course, you could obviously, if it's a power up, use training, right, to get the card. For at this point, it's 4,300 training. That's still a lot. I don't recommend anyone does that, because 4,300 training can get you, it can get you a lot. It's cheaper than the 500K. But the only time you should ever do it is if A, you think you're going to keep the card forever, or B, we know that the cost of training right now for 4,300 is around 350,000 coins. So at this moment, you are willing to lose 175,000 coins. That's what the training costs you at this time. I don't care what the training is worth at the time, or if you power the card down. That doesn't matter. You still spent the money when it was high, right? When you spend the money when it's high, that's what it's worth. It doesn't matter what it's worth when you get rid of it, because it's not going to be worth as much. Got it? If there's a card that comes out and is a power-up, and is a limited edition, we know that your cost to power the card down, your quote-unquote loss, is going to be 175,000 coins. What that means right now is that if you wanted to get T.Y. Hilton, right? If you want to add T.Y. Hilton to your team right now, he's 800,000 coins. That's too expensive. You are looking at a potential loss of 300,000 coins. You can minimize your loss with the power-up set as long as you have the training for 175,000 coins. That's the better way to go. So if you want one of these cards and they are really expensive, you can actually get them without having to spend the coins. That is cheaper, but you have to be willing to take the loss. So you got to be very, 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 very careful, Very careful. Now, training is expensive right now. Training will not be expensive all year. I promise you that, because we are going to get so many high-rated cards, which are just going to pop out of packs. You guys know it. You guys know it just like I know it. It happens every year. It happens. It happens. And it's going to change, and these cards will be affordable at the end of the year. When you want to do squad builders, you'll be able to do it. It's fine. No problem. I promise. But there could be a little tweaks to the way limited editions are, but they're not for everybody. And you have to understand that. When you go look at these cards and they drop them, you have to understand that they are not probably for you. And that's a hard pill for a lot of people to swallow, but it's the truth. You know, you can't have everything. I don't even, like you guys see, I have a lot of coins. I don't even have Diamond Ramsey because I think he's too expensive. You know, think about it. But again, when you look at limited edition cards, do not think that you are buying them. These are rentals. They will go away. It's a deposit. If you rent a Ferrari, right? Well, these would be the Ferraris of the Mutt world. They say you need to put down a $10,000 deposit on this car to drive it. You bring it back, fine. You get your $10,000 back. Okay. That's what this is. This is exactly what this is. There's no difference. This is a rental system. It's not a buy system. Keep that in mind. I know that some people probably won't agree with this, and that is perfectly fine. I respect everyone's opinion. If you agree or disagree, don't just tell me I disagree. Tell me why you disagree, right? Or tell me why you really like this, or why you really don't like this. You know, because I don't think that this is necessarily the best way that that it can be done from EA. I think it's a good way. I like that it adds a lot of value. It adds value to packs. Always love that. But if we have proper feedback to what EA can actually take and see, hey, the community really feels strongly one way or another about something, then we can figure out how it goes. But hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm CC. I think I've rambled. And I could talk about this. I'm going to be doing Ask CC videos again very, very soon. So if you guys have anything you want me to cover, Ask CC could be anything, even not Mutt related or even not Madden related. Put it down below. Let me know. I'm out. Peace.